Let's talk about recession-proof niches. Well, let's call it recession-resistant because there's no such thing as recession-proof. Recession-resistant niches. And this is something I have really thought long and hard about. I've really tried, and this is something I thought a lot about right when the pandemic hit, as I was like, shoot, I thought this was going to we're going to tailspin into a quote-unquote recession. And so I did a lot of homework then. And so this year, as I've been building, and especially recently, I've really been cautious of like, okay, if things shifted, what niches are going to be there? Which niches are not only going to be there, but they're going to keep growing. People are going to have to use these services. And I have an entire other video that talks about the niches I think are going to get absolutely destroyed when the recession comes. And that video is on this channel, okay? Maybe I can even link it up in the little description to help make it easy on you guys, okay? But here's the niches that I'm extremely bullish on at this point, and these are the niches I'm doubling, tripling down on. Some of them I'm not even touching because I just don't like the niche. But they're niches I know aren't going anywhere, so it's making me think about, okay, are there some other angles we can use, okay? So let me go through a list of a couple of the ones that I like, the ones that I'm doubling down on, and then I'll go through some that I think are going to be not only just fine, but they're going to grow, and they're not going anywhere, but they're not necessarily niches I'm going to touch. So the niches that, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, but if I think about this intuitively, guys, I know technically you could go and pour your own concrete. I know somebody could do that. In fact, I know people that do that, but for the average person, that is a lot of work. And honestly, it feels to me like if somebody's a DIY person, they're a DIY person all the time. So those people that are DIYers, even when times are good, like right now, I think those people are doing their own stuff right now, okay? So I just don't see an uptick in that many people that are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go buy the cement thing and I'm going to go learn how to do it, and it's really hard labor. I just don't see it. And as I look at it, it's like, we're always going to need concrete. Now, like, we are always going to need concrete. And here's what's cool about the concrete niche. You're like, okay, well, the building might slow down. Cool. We don't really get on these websites, on these digital real estate websites. If you've noticed, if you've ever been in the niche, you don't really get new home builds. That's not the kind of concrete jobs you get. You get the deck extension, you get the concrete repair, you get the pool extension, etc. And I got a freaking a-hole on my tail hair. Okay, those are the kind of leads that you get. You're not getting the new homes. So that doesn't matter. Okay? So I don't see it going anywhere. People are still going to need concrete. Okay? And I just don't see that many people turning into DIY people just because there's a shift, okay? That's number one. That's a niche that I really, really like, and it just so happens that it's also a recession-resistant niche. Another niche that I really like, it's one I haven't really been touching because I feel like it's been hit so hard, but guys, tree service is a very recession-resistant niche. Who's going to go and rent a bucket truck? Who's going to go and rent a huge saw? Yeah, there's probably going to be a couple, but not that many people. You need equipment. And so as I've been thinking about the niches that I don't think are going anywhere, the ones that I think are going to be recession resistant at the very least, think about the niches, of course, that are high ticket, of course, that have decent search volume, but also think about the ones that are the hardest for somebody to do on their own, right? It's going to be pretty hard for someone to do spray foam insulation on their own. Pretty hard. It's going to be pretty hard for someone to pour concrete. It's going to be really hard for someone to go and cut their own tree. Okay? So those are the niches I'm thinking about. Those are a couple. Tree service, I have a few sites. I don't love it because it's so saturated. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm going all in on concrete, all in on spray foam. And then here's a couple niches that I have done some sites in. Well, this is a niche I've done a site in that I might double down and do a few more. You guys have heard me talk about, I absolutely discourage people from doing a roofing niche, a roofing website in the roofing niche, because it's so competitive, it's so high ticket. I think it's more of a Facebook play. But I've had tremendous luck by going inside of the niche, by going sub-niche and focusing on roof repairs. And I have websites, actually I have one website specifically that is crushing it. And it doesn't generate roofing, like roof replacement. It generates roof repair only. And it crushes it. It's lower ticket than the big roofs, but it's high enough you can justify a decent cost on it, a decent amount per month. And so that's a niche where I just don't see that going away. I just don't see people all of a sudden magically going and fixing their own roofs. I don't, okay? The people that are going to be fixing their own roofs, they're fixing them right now, so that ain't going to change. There's going to be 1 or 2 people out of 100, but it's not going to be dramatic. And then the last one, this is a niche I absolutely loathe, but it's not going anywhere, and so it's making me scratch my head going, maybe I should look at it. Probably won't, but it is something I promise you is going to be there, and that is towing. I hate towing. I hate the type of business owners you have to work with. I hate the ticket size and all that kind of stuff. But what I like about it is that it is not going anywhere. People are not getting in less wrecks. People are not going to stop. If anything, they might be getting in more wrecks because they're going to be trying to save money. Instead of flying, they might be driving. So it might even increase. So towing's one of those niches where it's like, shoot, man, I hate it, but I know it's not going anywhere. So my game plan is, how do I look at the same criteria with niches that are high ticket, decent volume, non-branded, and phone driven? And how do I look at the ones where it's the hardest for people to do on their own? That's the sweet spot. What are the ones that are the hardest for people to do on their own, but that also are not a nicety, they're a necessity? Concrete, tree service, insulation, right? That's my thought process. So guys, you know what I love about this is a lot of people out there that are doing programs and talking about this kind of stuff, they don't actually have their own websites. They don't actually have their own digital real estate empire. I do. I've bought my real estate with digital real estate. I have bought my home that I live in with digital real estate. This car with digital real estate. So I am in this game just as much as you guys. And that's what's so cool is I can get on here and I can talk about just the stuff I'm looking at, stuff that I'm looking. Okay, here's my agency. Here's my digital real estate empire. Here's the shifts we're making. Here's the preparations we're making in case something shifts. So guys, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not freaking out. I'm not, because I know that I work hard. I know that when shit hits the fan, I'm going to double, triple, quadruple down. I'm going to outwork everybody. I'm going to be fine. But I also don't want to be stupid and have 100 sites in a niche that's going to go belly up, okay? Like I talked about on my other video. So, if you want to take a piece of advice from me, like I'm sharing on here, look at some of those niches and start building your portfolio with niches and start kind of moving that direction into niches that are going to be at the very least recession resistant.